Hey guys, it's John, small time reseller. It's been a week and a day or so, and so I managed in that time to sell a book. And so, actually a few. And so I'm going to come here and tell you all about it. And then at that point, I've done my part. You figure it out after that. So, that's kind of what I do. Sell stuff on eBay. Come here, tell you about it. I don't do any garage sale videos. I don't do any GoPros at the Goodwill bins, looking at my capricious, wayward, and ever inconstant hands. Although I do love those videos. Gonna watch them all the time, enjoy them, learn from them. Just not what I do. So I sold some books this week. A total of, I think I had in the title, managed 17 books for a grand total of $324.94. And that comes out to an average of $19.11 a book. So we're going to get right into it. I'm just going to kind of tell you what I sold, how much I paid for it. Maybe, if it's interesting, I'll tell you a little bit about why I picked it up. So, here we go. First one, Louisiana Notary Exam Study Guide. This is the type of book, you see it, somebody needs this. Somebody, somewhere, probably Louisiana, is studying to be a notary and needs this book. So I'm doing the world a service. I'm taking it out of this bin in Lake Jackson and giving it to this guy in Louisiana. Doing really, it's a service that we do as resellers. Anyhow, it sold for $30 and it did go, in fact, to Louisiana. Next one, Dustins Smoke, Hot Irons and Sharp Knives. This one is actually signed by the author / photographer Renee Heil. And I got this at a regular old Goodwill a long time ago for probably about $3. This is kind of one of my first books I bought actually when I started reselling. And it was autographed, it's beautiful pictures, a lot of horses and ranches and stuff like that. And it went to a buyer in Wyoming, and for $75, I had it up for $99, or maybe it's $100. And they offered me $65. I counted at $75. They accepted. So $75 for that picture book there, the photography book signed by Renee Heil. Next one is one I just picked up last week, and none dare call it treason. And if they did. I got this at the Goodwill bin, so 33 cents. It's from 1964, and I sold it for $12. So I was pretty happy about that. That went to Pennsylvania. I like to pick up some of the vintage paperbacks, and sometimes I'll lot them together. Sometimes I'll try to sell them individually, like this one. Seemed to have some pretty good sell-through rate, and so I put it up on its own, and it sold very quickly. Another book that somebody's going to need when you see the medical assistant exam prep. Somebody, somewhere, needs to be a medical assistant, so they're going to need this book. Again, a service to the country. I'd get it for them, ship it off. $17.95, and that actually went to someone here in Texas. The next book, Call of the Quail. $12, Goodwill bins book, and it went to Michigan. So that was kind of an interesting look to it. It just had a look, so I bought it. This one was kind of fun. This is the Geology of the Delaware Basin, including the Permian Basin. And if you're from Texas, you know all about the Permian Basin, and you may be from other places too, but that's West Texas, a lot of oil, where they're digging through the shale, and there's a lot of oil in the Permian Basin. And so when I saw that Geology of the Permian Basin, I figured somebody would need to know about that. A lot of oil out there still. And so I picked it up, and Goodwill bins, 33 cents, and it sold for $45, and it did go to a buyer here in Texas. All right, next one, Teaching Reading to EL, English Language Learners. This is a personal book of mine. I had an extra copy of it, so put one on sale. This went $10 to Puerto Rico. The next one I was kind of surprised this sold right now. I bought it before the football season started. It's a 2021 Fantasy Guru NFL Draft Guide, and I thought before the season started, people doing the fantasy drafts, they may want it. And so I had it for like $20, didn't sell. So I just got an offer for $10, and I figured, that's fine, because I didn't think it'd sell at all once the season started. And I went to a buyer in Florida, so $10 for that. I sold 2 of my Qlink Sim Cards. This is the ones I bought at the bin drop. And I bought, how many of them? So they're 3 packs of them. I think there are 8 in a pack, so 24 of them. No, more than that. There are 20 in a pack. And I got them for $8 a pack because it was the first day of the bin drop. So I paid $24 for 60 of these, and I've been selling them for $9 pop. Free shipping, so I'm only making $3 or $4, but I've sold about 10 of them, so I'm into the profit now. I kind of thought they would sell a lot more than that, but they're slowly selling, and each one I sell is it's easy to put in an envelope and it's easy to ship, and that's a little bit of profit on each one now. So I sold 2 of those. What's next? Oh, these Harley Davidson patches in Arabic. This was there's a little kind of a community thrift store in Freeport, and a really neat place. The frustrating thing was the lady didn't have prices on anything. So I was like, hey, how much for the books? And I'm thinking, you know, maybe 50 cents softback, $1 hardback. And she said, it depends on the book. So I kind of come up there and I have all this stuff, and she says $24. I was like, oh, wow, that's a lot for a couple of books and a couple of these patches. So I ended up getting it for 10. And these two patches, it actually in Arabic, it says, you know, Harley Davidson across the middle. The top part says motor and the bottom part says cycles. And there's one in red, one in orange. A guy from France messaged me asking if I could ship it to France. So I said, sure. And I turned on the international shipping, weighed it, made sure the weight was correct this time. And then I also said, hey, you know, I got another one, a red one. If I had it for $15 each, I said, I'll sell you both for $25. No extra shipping because they're so light. And he accepted that. So I sold them both for $25. And they went to France. That's kind of cool. Selling Arabic Harley Davidson patches to France. I like that. The next one, U.S. Navy SEAL Combat Manual. I went through it, you know, learned all there was to learn about it. I feel pretty confident myself now, so I can let the book go. And this went to Minnesota for $10. A little bit of condition issues with this one, but it was still a fascinating book at the Goodwill bins. When I saw that, it was just so unique, I had to grab it, and thought, and yeah. So the next one, Master the Coverstitch Machine. I had no idea what a Coverstitch Machine was, but I figured somebody somewhere needed to master this thing. They're going to want this book, and some lady in Hawaii apparently does. So she paid $20 for it, and it went off to Hawaii. I've been sending a lot of things to Hawaii, and they take a long time. The next one, Alcoholics Anonymous Big Book, $7.99, going out to Oregon. Best of luck to you, buddy. And then we had this one, Structural Geology of Rocks and Regions. This one was kind of funny. Comps on this book went from like 15, not comps, for the ones that were listed for sale, between $50 up to $185. Like 15 up to $185. Like, and they're literally like in between. There's 20s, 30s, 40s. The ones that sold, a couple of them had been bids at auction, sold for 10, 12. And so my book, the cover was printed upside down. So the perfect condition almost. You open it up, everything's upside down. Be right back. And so I don't know if that affects the value in any way. But I disclosed it. I said, hey, this is printed upside down. Once you get in the book, you're fine. It's just kind of weird. And so I sold it for $20. And I went to New Hampshire. So what do you expect from, I don't know what that means. This next one is a novel. I don't sell a lot of fiction, but this is one that I sold. I'm not going to say the name just because it's got the word that I don't like to say, don't want to say. I went for $12 to Tennessee. Then this one, I've had this one for a while. I was glad to see it sell. It's from 1950, Sucker Rod Handbook, put out by Bethlehem Steel. I have no idea what any of that means. I wish I did, but I don't. And but I figured it was something that looked like there would be a community that would be interested in that. And graphically, it was very interesting. So that's why I picked it up. And it sold for $10. I had it up for $12, and somebody offered $10. That went to Georgia. And that's the last one. Yep. So that was my 17 sales. And low battery. And for $324.94, an average of $19.11. So not a bad week. A lot of $10 sales this week. I had the 175 of 45, but mostly on the lower end this week, which is fine because those are easy. I actually bought boxes from eBay. I guess they're through eBay, but I've been using just ones that I find at work and different places. It's kind of nice to have a regular size box. So I can just go in and grab one. And an envelope, 2 padded envelopes for some of the softback books. I still wrap them in bubble wrap, put them in the envelope. But that's actually been kind of nice. So yeah, anyhow, hey, that's going to be it for me for now. And I will, hopefully maybe next time I may be in an actual new room. My son is moving to his own place. He's 21. He's had enough of me. And so he's moving out. Probably going to be this next week. And when he does, he's taking all this stuff. I'm going to try to move into his room as being like the eBay shop there. And hopefully that works out. Get all the stuff out of the dining room. So, and the living room. And the piano room. And the kitchen. And that's it for today. Hope all of you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your week, and good luck on all your sales. And I will see you next time, right? Yeah. Oh, and I'm 1 subscriber away from half 100. So just subscribe, right? I'm excited to get to half 100. Adios.